Our entire fucking world's gone insane, and rather than bitch at the guy that just drove me away from the spot I wanted to do this, I'll just say that the cult of personality that like Don Trump is a cult of people that are not moved by facts. And increasingly every day he has new toadies to send out, and it's really kind of fun that his personally picked ass-cleaning attorney general looks like a toad while being his toad. The guy that started this thing, Rosenstein, looks like Zelig. Just Google it, I don't have the time. Don Trump calls him Mr. Peepers, and finally, one of Don Trump's nicknames is right. This guy has now gone out there and backed him up and told him that he can help him, in his words, land the plane, the same words as his ass-picked attorney general. And this is a real problem because we soon will not live in a democracy. While this is happening, daily acts of unkindness are what happens just before the apocalypse. Gee, I'm stuttering because people are going by and laughing. That dick sat down and doesn't know that the nice thing to do is to say, excuse me, do you mind if I sit down? Including after the crazy person talks to themselves and says, gee, I wanted to do a YouTube's rant. Some people, when they hear that, go away. He ignored me and just stared at me. I said, what is your problem? Why is everyone so mean and dumb in this elitist, entitled, obtuse, white person clusterfuck? My problem is that white person sounds racist. I mean entitled people. That's all I mean. Don't have to make it racial. It's entitled people saying, go away, we don't like sick and poor, we don't know what it is. In the meantime, I will very quickly do a routine on Don Trump's other toady, Steve Mnuchin, who ran Goldman Sachs, who is our Treasury Secretary, who will not give up the taxes and has never met an angry black woman in his life. And Maxine Waters schooled him in committee. And she told him, Mr. Mnuchin, if you want to leave, you can leave. And he went, well, I mean, are we done? I mean, I've had the Pakistani finance minister waiting in my office for 3 hours and 27 minutes, but I mean, are we done? I mean, as I said, if you wish to leave, you can go. The exits are clearly marked. But I mean, why can't you bang the gravel? Mr. Mnuchin, a gavel is something you bang at a meeting. Gravel is something that you walk on. I'm tired of being walked on by you. The exits are clearly marked and you can go. But I mean, are we done? The guy's afraid because he knows he can be held in contempt of Congress. He doesn't know exactly what that is, but he's Don Trump's personally handpicked Secretary of the Treasury, who is compelled by law to give up the tax results and won't, and is scared, and he just looks like he's never been schooled in his entire life. So this would be funny if it wasn't ridiculous. Oh, I had something moderately less pernicious to close with. Let's close with this. One of my favorite things to do on stage is that I walk out and have a routine called Big Questions, in which I say, apropos of nothing, when exactly did pajamas in public become a permissible dress code? Was there an announcement over the loudspeaker of America? Why wasn't I in the loop? Why didn't I get the memo about the pajamas in public? Since when did that become a thing? Last night, I'm looking on the web, and the YouTube shows me what I like, which is pictures of animals. In this case, elephants learning to paint. Did you know that elephants can paint? I didn't. You just gotta put it in their trunk and they can paint. So I go to the coffee shop and I say to the nice girls that work there, did you know elephants can paint? And they're like, oh yeah, elephants can paint. I'm like, why was I not in the loop about elephants painting? Pajamas in public and elephants painting, I missed out on both these. How did that happen? And they go, oh no, we know elephants can paint. And I said, well, this means that when I'm interacting with this deer who lets me pet it, who's become my friend, with whom I'm having telepathic conversations, she really is between 7 and 14 years old at any particular moment. And creatures of the sea that have brains 6 times bigger than us are 6 times more smart than us. That's why they stayed in the sea and can talk to each other over thousands of miles. Why was I not in the loop? Why didn't I get the memo? This is really cool. So, in the good ledger, elephants can paint. In the bad ledger, we might lose our democracy. People think that Don Trump is a dictator and they like it. A woman said, I never thought I'd see an American dictator, but we have to have one. Don Trump's my man. Newsflash. Approximately 1/3 of people 29 to 30 years old think that under certain circumstances, a dictatorship would be preferable. Here's millennials. It's like a generation crapped out by a corporation that doesn't know shit, indignant in everything, with no emotional intelligence and no sense of justice, and just being extremely passive-aggressive to me in a story I won't tell that happened yesterday. It turns on a dime from an hour and a half of attention to you're dismissed. How did this become a confessional? Okay, so, elephants can paint, might lose our democracy. You win some, you lose some. Later.